What's going on, everyone? So, last night I alerted a bunch of swing plays. Those were up 40, 50, 30, 40% each. A lot of people made a lot of money. Intraday, this strength in the SPY did not make sense to me, so I alerted some SPY puts. Those obviously didn't work out. We sold those for a 13% loss. It is what it is. So, now in today's video, we're going to talk about what happens next. What my thoughts are on the market, where I think we're going to end up going, what I think needs to happen, all that good stuff. So we're going to talk about the SPY, the IWM, QQQ, the 30-year bond, and the crypto markets. All right, so let's get started with the video. All right, so number one, Facebook has earnings today, and it looks like they had bad earnings because they're down 16% in the after hours. So, I think those SPY puts would have worked out. If you're still holding them, that's good. You know, the SPY might end up touching 451 tomorrow. But, yeah, on the close, I just wasn't sure which direction we would go. The market looked abnormally strong. And it just didn't make any sense to me. And my gut was telling me to go short. And I just didn't alert anything, so I'm not going to take any credit for anything. So basically, I wanted to see if the SPY could maintain above this uptrend. All right. So number one, we closed above 457. So we were trading above 457.36. And then towards the close, we ended up closing below this 618% fib level here, right? And this level, as we touched it, is ridiculous. So basically, all right. So now, before I continue talking about, Facebook and everything else, this right now is a bear flag formation. All right. So bear flags, usually when we have a downward move, right? A bear flag only tends to make it to the 50% or the 618% Fibonacci level. Once the bear flag starts trading above the 618% Fibonacci level and closing above that level, it's almost a 75% chance that we won't fall back lower. All right. So the fact that we were starting to trade above this level was basically like a really strong sign to me. And it just didn't make any sense to me to go short or to alert going short. All right. Number two is I wanted to see it stay above 456.80. Right. So I tweeted that I needed to see the SPY trade above 456.80 to maintain this uptrend level that we had on the SPY, connecting from January 28th's lows to February 1st's lows. So, essentially, we did close above that level, but it just didn't make sense. It didn't feel right to go long because we were so overextended to the upside. It was like very bullish. It didn't make any sense to go bullish or to alert any bullish plays. And because we were that bullish, it also didn't make sense to go short or alert short plays. Okay, so essentially moving forward tomorrow, the level of support on the SPY is going to be approximately 455. We can see right now it's trading below 455, but 455 is going to be the level of support and resistance for tomorrow on the SPY. And if we do fall lower, once again, if we fall lower to, for example, the 451 or the 450.37 level, which was my original target earlier today to go short, right? That was going to be my original target. I was saying a healthy market needed a retest of that level for us to continue going on higher. But what ended up happening is we just continued flying upwards, and that did not make any sense to me. That's why I just kind of stepped back from the market. I didn't really know, I just didn't want any part of what was going on. So essentially now tomorrow, if we come back and retest 450 to 451 and we hold those levels, then that can be a potential very good reload to go long. All right, so that's what I will most likely be looking for tomorrow. Of course, it depends on the real true earnings for Facebook, and then it depends on how the rest of the market is doing pre-market. But I really do think that unless we, of course, one more thing, if we break down below 450, then we're not looking to just constantly buy dips anymore. All right, we're going to wait for solid setups. What we were doing back here, where we were just constantly buying dips, basically blindly, is because we were extremely algorithmically overextended. If we start falling within the Bollinger Bands now, if we start falling, you know, down here to 450, 448, 446, 444, we're not going to just blindly buy into these dips. All right, we're gonna wait for solid setups, and yeah, that's truly it. It looks like the SPY is continuing to fall lower, and another reason why I'm gonna show you guys in the next, basically the other indices that I was looking at, I saw there was weakness in those other two indices, but the SPY had abnormal strength. All right, so really that's it for the SPY. I really do think so. Tomorrow 455 is going to be the level of resistance, and 450 to 451 is going to be the immediate level of support. So yeah, that's really it for the SPY. Let's go ahead and take a look at the IWM. So the IWM was clearly extremely weak. All right, so I saw at the close the SPY was very, very strong, but the IWM was closing extremely weakly. Okay, so we can see that it closed below the 201.48 level. It completely failed at this 203.70 level, and you know, it just clearly that's weakness. It's a big red candle, failed right below a major level of support. All right, I saw that, and it didn't make sense to me why the SPY was so bullish. All right, so there's that. That's really it for. So the downward target and the downward level of support is obviously going to be 200. If 200 breaks, then it's going to be 198, and that's really it to talk about for the IWM. Let's go ahead and take a look at the 30-year bond and the NASDAQ. So the 30-year bonds was another main thing that I was looking at intraday. We had a big rally upwards to 156.17, but then we failed, and we came back down to around 155.20. All right, so that's basically where we were at the close. And I saw that, and that was not bullish to me either. And again, if, you know, that's why the strength in the SPY just didn't make any sense to me. But I guess my intuition was correct if we do fall lower. But I mean, yeah, it is what it is. So essentially, the bonds are closing, and they're still trading above levels of resistance. You can see here the 155.14 level. We're still holding. The MACD is still moving on higher. The blue line is starting to get, you know, starting to point downwards, which is good. But the RSI is starting to become really, really, what's the word? It's becoming sensitive to the upside with very little green move. So that's not the best sign. So like, because I saw the RSI acting sensitive and failing at this level of resistance here, I saw the weakness in the bonds. And again, I saw the IWM's weakness. I saw the the 30-year bonds weakness. And yeah, you know, that's essentially why I did not want to alert longs, even though we closed above levels of resistance. But yeah, all right, so there's that for the 30-year bonds. And now let's take a look at the NASDAQ. So the NASDAQ is down to 362 in the after hours. You can see it clearly closed below 368.79. All right, so these levels essentially right here at around 366.55 is going to be the main level of resistance moving forward. And then this 362 area, you can see, is the next level of support. Now, if we break that level tomorrow, then it's going to be 358, which is going to be the level of support. Personally, now is the fun part. Now is the part where we really have to trade intelligently, because all throughout here, it was just very easy. All we had to do was just buy the dips and hold. But now, now is the fun part. Essentially, now it's going to be whether is this a break of the bull flag to the upside or a fake out break to the upside? Are we making a bull flag? It all depends, really. If we're going to hold this 358 level on the NASDAQ, this could just be a potential opportunity to buy dips. Yeah, I mean, you can see that, you know, the NASDAQ closed above the below the uptrend as well, which is another reason why I was bearish initially. But you know, the SPY closed above it, so that, like, there was just a lot of weird stuff going on today. And you know, we opened up really well. We had a lot of profit at the morning, but the rest of the day, the SPY just had abnormal strength. It didn't make any sense to me. Those are going to be the levels on the NASDAQ. Shared the levels on the IWM. The SPY moving forward, again, you know, we need to hold above that 450 level. And if 450 doesn't hold, then it's going to be 447, 448, and then this trend line down here. If we break down below this trend line, then that is going to be that's going to be a safe opportunity to start going short. All right. And if we start, you know, if we fall below, obviously, if we open below, you know, 456, whatever, 455, sorry, and then we break back above 455, if we can get another close above this blue trend line here, then that means we can continue going on higher. So essentially, these next few days are going to be made to chop up retail investors. All right. Because retail investors potentially bought these dips, right? I'm not saying a lot of them did, but because we just had a violent upward move, banks and hedge funds, they make the most money when retail is getting chopped out, when they are essentially, when there's no clear price movement day to day. That's when they make a lot of money, because they could sell options. People get caught out. It's very easy to manipulate the prices on options, increase the volatility. And yeah, so the next few days can be very, very interesting. Just, you know, we made so much money. Now it's not the time to start losing it. All right. So, yeah, essentially there's my analysis for the overall stock market. Now let's go ahead and take a look at the crypto market. So the weakness in Bitcoin was another reason why I thought that the SPY was also going to be weak. So the NASDAQ was weak, the IWM was weak, and Bitcoin were all weak. But the SPY was showing abnormal strength. It made no sense at all. So that sort of faked me out. And right now you can see that Bitcoin is starting to break below important levels of support. So essentially, it needs to really just stay above 37,000. If it can't stay above 37,000 and Bitcoin starts to fall even lower, that's not going to be good. I don't think that's going to be good for the overall stock market. And I doubt that's going to be good for the crypto market moving forward, especially because 37,000 is very important. And then if we fall below 36,000, everything is out the window. Upward targets, downward targets, we're going to be essentially right in the middle of risk reward. So it wouldn't make sense to go short or long. If we break down below 36, then it's not favorable to any side in terms of trading. Unless you want to, you know, go short on this trend line here. Right here. Technically, that is broken already. But, you know, so you could go short essentially right now and then play to the downside. But again, you know, we saw weakness in all of the other indices. We saw weakness in Bitcoin. And yeah, that's really it. So yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed the video. I hope you guys, you know, enjoy following me on Twitter. Post all of my plays there live completely for free. And yeah, this is a shorter video. I have some errands to run. And I will see you guys tomorrow. Thank you.